Huh? Huh? What's this?
Westweird presents the long and short of it.
Hello and welcome to episode 8 of The Long and Shot of It. Again, by this point, the premise hasn't changed in 7 episodes, so we're still going to be two idiots that drink beer and answer odd questions. As of late, the questions have been getting rather odd, so let's keep that tradition up, shall we? I'm sure.
I'm Mikey, Edna, depending on how you look.
And we are back at the phenomenal Cats, aka the Victoria.
Back in the Junkie Royalty Suite.
And we're back in the suite. Love this little room, it's phenomenal.
I don't need to call episode 6, but just before we started filming, we've got a little post-production meeting debating whether to move Sean from the rivets. But no, he's back by the rivets. So,
Yes, I've promised hands on desk at all time for this episode, and I will promise not to get waylaid by my rivets. In this amazing fridge back here, before we started we had a little gander and we found something that is quite interesting, so we've changed up the viewing for today to incorporate a phenomenal mystery bottle, so I'll bring that up shortly.
Jason trusted me with the keys to the fridge to let me get the bottle out, so cheers Jason for that.
That is true trust.
You don't trust him like me with the keys to the fridge and beer. Sorry Sean, I cut you off there. Sorry.
No, absolutely, it needs to be addressed.
Yeah, that was very LBC presented of you there, cutting you off like that. Sorry.
That sort of trust just doesn't come overnight. So yeah, he's an absolutely amazing guy. We have been filming on Sundays, and we know Sundays are an extremely busy day for Jason because of his fantastic Sunday dinners that they put on here. But we have tried our best to try and get hold of him for one of the episodes, just so that he can pop and say hello, because he's a great bloke. Yeah, we look forward to getting him on, hopefully one episode, just to say hello and show his face. Right, where do we begin today? We'll start off with our icebreaker, which is where we like to start, but today we are drinking Wainwright.
Wainwright.
Wainwright, and this is Marston's, and it comes in at a lovely 4.1% for those who keep score on these things.
To be fair, I drink this by the gallon in here. It's either green duck or Wainwright or chicken down on it in here. They are the two staple beers that you get on here. So yeah, this one is no stranger to me at all. So
Okay, well, the main man says it. Let's have it.
the man from Del Monte is likely to be saying yes to this one. Oh, he died, didn't he, recently? The man from Del Monte. Oh, right. So I hope you're saying yes up there now, mate.
Cheers, fella. So the icebreaker.
That's our third off tangent comment of the day. Get that out of the way.
Our icebreaker question is: who is your favourite Simpsons character?
Oh, Lenny.
Good choice.
Lenny was amazing. Yeah. Nuts. He was just brilliant, isn't it? You know, the episode where he's the last one to get to the cabin, so he gets fired. You know, when they're all stuck in the snow. The snow lodge. Nuts. And then when they're all out on strike, and he's got Lisa playing the song on the. Did you play the guitar?
Yeah, guitar. Yeah. The you have the power one.
Yeah, they have the plant, but we have the power. so will March Day and
Yeah,
Night.
Night by the big cooling tower. Yeah.
They have a plant. Oh, if only Warsaw still had its power station, because everyone's on strike at the moment, didn't they? You know, we make a strike outside there and everyone's singing that. That'd be amazing. Oh man! And in fact, back in the 80s, when Warsaw, they had 6 big fuck-off cooling towers that loomed over the town like the ugly Predator, the Simpsons.
Nice.
Superb. And then they demolished them and built them the bolt there. Can't really man that bit of progress.
No. I would go with. I've got a couple. I think the Simpsons. They survived 30 odd seasons, whatever they're on now, like 32, 33, I don't know. But they've survived that long by having some phenomenal characters, haven't they? Big shout out to the comic book guy. I love the comic book guy. One of my favourite scenes is when he was downloading a nude image of Captain Janeway from Star Trek using his dial-up internet. And he's been there for several hours and it's got like 2% complete. It's all pixelated. But I'm also a massive fan of Smithers. I love Smithers. Highlight episode of Smithers is one of the Treehouse of Horrors where he's a snake and he eats Mr. Burns whilst crying because he's so upset by eating him. But yeah, The Simpsons, phenomenal cartoon, and I can see why it stood the test of time.
I mean, I love solicitor guy, is it Lionel Hutz?
Yeah.
He's just amazing. You know, you are the biggest. The one where Homer gets chucked out the all-you-can-eat fish restaurant.
Yeah.
This is the biggest case of fraudulent advertising since my case against the film, The Never-Ending Story.
Does this man look like he's had all he could eat?
What did you do when you were chucked out there? We drove around for 7 hours looking for another all-you-can-eat fish restaurant.
Another staple is Troy McClure. You may recognise me from such documentaries as...
The one where he meets Selma. And then I go and spoil it all by doing something stupid like explosion. And all of a sudden, because he's been seen with a woman, everyone wants to put him in films again. His like career takes off because, like, you know. It's like one of that time when I walked into the pub with a woman, everyone was like, oh my god, Emma's got a woman. It's like the whole room stopped and, you know. Yeah. Imagine that. And I didn't get put in any movies that time, so, you know. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's not just, you know, the home gets all the big lines, just, you know, that, but, you know, just the little supporting characters as well that, you know, that make it so tick over.
Yeah. Sideshow Mel, Sideshow Bob, all the greats.
Oh. The best bit, Sideshow Bob is the one where he's on the boat.
Cape Fear.
Cape Fear, and he keeps standing on the road. And then they do the entire score of HMS Pinnacle, also all the things on about all backdrops appear and costume changes and props and I shall send you to heaven before I send you to hell. And then Bart's up there doing it and the numbers, you know what I mean? And then at the end, just somebody appears, just an arm appears with some flowers.
Yeah, it doesn't say die Bart die, it's German for the Bart, the.
Yeah. No German person could ever be evil. No, nobody speaks German. Yeah. So Adolf was Austrian, so sorry about that. Bit of misinformation.
So yeah, Wainwright.
Yeah, it's going during the Wainwright, to be fair. It's probably been the liveliest of our icebreaker questions so far, hasn't it? The power of the Wainwrights.
You know, some questions are just they're born to open up the floor a little, and I think
absolutely.
I think the Simpsons deserve that little.
I would. Do I need to all say
Yeah.
It's all. Once I was on the way to town to pay that month's loan repayment, and I'd got about £100 in my pocket to pay said loan repayment, and a new store had opened up in the Southwell Centre called Music Zone. Oh, what's this? You know, if you're not sure where it was, it's right next door to what was the draft shop. That should help you remember all the gents out there of a certain age. So I just bought in Music Zone for a quick gander, and they had Simpsons box sets, 22 episodes or so for £30. 3 box sets later, in the space of 10 minutes, I suddenly realised, shit, that's this month's loan really gone, and I've got £10 left of it. You can't really walk in the bank and pay £10 and the church paying €100, so yes, I think we're doing even as a really point of the other £10. I would just like to point out now that loan has been paid.
Well,
I'm a bit more responsible now.
I too have a Music Zone related question from when it opened up in Wolverhampton, and it was in fact where I bought my first ever album with my own hard-earned cash, and that album was Brave New World by Iron Maiden.
Oh, okay.
But like yourself, I was distracted by the box sets and ended up leaving with the first 5 seasons of the X-Files on box set.
Fair play.
Because they were selling them for like dirt cheap as well, weren't they, from what I remember?
One thing about the X-Files for me is, I didn't realise it, but back in about 1997, Sky launched what they called Sky 2, which has now long been discontinued, and they launched it with 6 episodes of the X-Files back to back. And it wasn't until I sat there watching them, just the same thing every week. Something spooky would happen, Maud would have a theory, Scott would say that's bollocks, Maud would be proved right, and at the end you think they're going to do it, and they don't. And by the time I got to episode 4, I was absolutely bored shitless. So I was drinking Carling Premier at the time, cans off, you know. I don't drink in the house anymore, I drink for a long time. And at that time I was drinking cans of Carling Premier because it was the thing back in the mid-90s, and I don't know if it was cans of that or the very repetitive X-Files that really made me want to go to bed. I'm sure episodes 5 and 6 are very good.
I just point out that the X-Files is our PA's favourite show of all time.
Oh, we put off with didn't we? I slag off Led Zeppelin or slag off Jerry Halliwell, and now slagging off the X-Files. Can you write me a list of things that you like for the next episode so I know what not to tread over these lines? Sorry, Sam. She's appeared to be finding the funny side of it, so I'm not digit.
So, let's whiz back time by about 4 minutes. And you said your most sampled beers were the Wainwright and also Green Duck.
Green Duck, yeah.
So, it seems only right that we head to what I perceive to be a new Green Duck. I've never heard of or have sampled this.
Me neither.
This is called the Ricochet, and it's sat at a whopping 7.2%. So let's see what's going on with this.
Now the Green Duck Blonde, obviously one of the staple beers here, which I ditch, and I like to taste this is new territory for me as well.
Well,
so,
the Duck Blonde you'll remember being in the Battle of the Ducks a couple of episodes ago. Again, we are absolutely dreadful at explaining who wins in these battles, but
we don't tell you we forget all that.
but at the end of the day, drinking is like most things. You have your loves and your hates, i.e. you don't really like stout. I like stout.
I am warming to stout.
Yeah, it's all down to your personal preference. I'm about to do one of the first splits live. This is new to me. I usually do this off camera because I'm so bad at it.
So I won't talk about like my likes and dislikes. I mean, at the end of the day, it's booze, and I like booze. So, you know, you're going to be hard pressed to find a booze that I don't like. That's what I'm doing. That's the worst one you've done. It's the one that you filmed.
It's the pressure of a live audience.
I can see people tutting and turning off their monitors with this. I hate them, mate.
I think that should about do it, shouldn't it? It's called aromatics.
I think with Max, I think it's gone from 7.2 now with all that swirling. It's gone down to around 5 now.
Anyway,
I don't do this because I can't say a word, you know what I mean? So, you know what I mean?
maybe we'll edit the pour out, So this is the Ricochet. Let's give it a whirl. Just had a flyby visit there. Okay.
Gotcha.
I'll tell you something. That already tastes like trouble.
We're in trouble.
I think I'm going to split this one over a twin question.
Okay.
So the first one actually has been posed solely to yourself
Oh, right, okay.
by, and you all know his name by now. He probably shows up to these podcasts more than we do. Wanye.
I'm dreading this already.
Bigger, stronger, harder, faster. Wanye West. So, Wayne would like to know, Evo, why do you love the 1976 Austin Allegro so much?
Right, okay. Well, I'm not a car driver. I have, I wouldn't say failed my test twice. I've took my test twice and been robbed twice by examiners. But the 1976 Austin Allegro is it's a thing on one of the past water plans websites where whatever the question was, who got man of the match today or who has been our best friend of the season, option D was always 1976 Austin Allegro. So, and then I thought I'll have me a bit of that. So I started using it myself on polls on talk football. And then when I got bored of that, I started putting Wayne as one of the options. So the third time I did this was, should women drink halves? Yes, no, don't know, other, wicked Slim Shady. And he actually got about 3 votes, I think. This is the time when I came out with my actually was sitting with I bought a pint every left, right and centre, so I just put it out there and yes, women can and should drink pints, yeah.
I agree, yeah.
But woman with a pint is always good.
Yeah. I absolutely agree.
This suddenly feels very much like the very last scene of Drop the Dead Donkey where they're moving out the furniture all around them as a film. Okay, Nathan. Yeah, I'm still warm into this, which is good.
Yeah. It's a slow burn.
It is.
So, I would like to point out that my old car favourite, which was not part of any sort of quiz or an answer in any sort of poll, but my favourite type of car is the Vauxhall Carlton.
Okay.
Mainly probably because it was the first car I ever remember being in as a passenger when I was a child.
Okay, fair.
This is all getting a bit much, isn't it? So, we have.
So I'm hoping to take your chair first. I actually just thought to get a bottle out of the fridge or something and then, you know, moving it. People are just so eager to get on this podcast, aren't they? With their cameras.
Oh, let's move these speakers around, shall we?
It's good that everyone that we've invited so far to turn up on these ones hasn't showed up, so at least some people are trying to get in on the action.
Yeah. There's always someone, this is like a pilgrimage to some people to come and see Evo. When he's in Warsaw, the people will come.
Yeah.
So
I am, you know, one of the prime tourist attractions of the town.
So the second question to accompany this hard-hitting Ricochet, I've changed this a little bit, and I'll tell you why. Because the original question used to really annoy the hell out of me, and I think I've made it a bit more sinister. So the original question is: would you would you take £1 million? Sorry. But the caveat was there was always going to be a demon snail following you around, and if it touched you, you died. So I thought, well, that's a lot of crap, because snails, no one's going to be terrified of a snail. So I've upped the game a bit. It's still a similar playing field because they are slow, but I'm going with: would you take £1 million knowing that a murder sloth was going to follow you around for the rest of the time? And the reason for this is they're quite slow, but I imagine they are the most terrifying thing to find lurking in your bedroom at the middle of the night.
Well, yeah, considering like they can be slow, but you're in bed for a good 8 hours, and just give them a chance to kind of at least approach. You know what I mean? But then, you know, obviously I'd have to get up to a piss halfway through the night, and you'd be like, oh, why don't you come that way? You know what I mean? I've got all this trouble. Yeah, give me the £1 million. I'll take it right now. You know.
I mean, I reckon.
I mean, I can't see us a lot at the moment, so I'm guessing I'm all right, at least until I drink the end of this ricochet, with £1 million, you know. So, yeah, bring it on.
Yeah, I feel like £1 million, you could buy yourself enough security to get past a murder sloth, couldn't you?
Well, yeah. Get a security guard to stand outside my bedroom to keep the stuff away. You know.
I mean, alternatively, you can literally just stay in a field, wait until you see it, put a box on it, and then just pay someone a daily shift to stand on the box.
Stand on it?
Yeah.
Okay.
You ain't going anywhere then, is it?
And I could get the box to work, so everyone's happy.
Yeah.
We do make boxes at work. You know. I could get a triple wall box to make it extremely hard for him to get out.
And in fact, if you put your advertising on there, you're even making additional money on top of your millions. So, yeah, murder sloth, bring it on.
Yeah, bring it on. Come on, give me £1 million, bring me the sloth, bring me the box. I'll take it all.
I feel like this is the first drink I've ever had that I'm struggling with. Not for any sort of reason, it doesn't seem overly harsh, but
It certainly doesn't take like it's 7.2%, does it?
No, it doesn't.
Normally when you get to that sort of thing, they are quite syrupy and
yeah.
you know, you can attend to soup and it's like, but this is actually, you know, it don't taste like a 7.2, it doesn't feel like a 7.2, you know. Yeah.
But it's definitely
People thinking I'm drinking slowly just because it's like something up near 7.2%, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I am probably going to all sloths after here, so
and you know I'm not one for giving out too many spoilers, but we do have a 6.9% cider coming up too, so you know we do like to promote drinking responsibly.
what a hard-hitting episode this is going to turn out to be, I think, isn't it, really? You know what I mean?
And it just so happens to be, this is the one with, I feel, is the lighter questions, which means our usual...
It's only going to go south from here, is what I was saying.
Our usual method of one drink per one question that we're trying to avoid has now turned into, we'll probably have to think about 2 or 3 questions per... we might just have to make up the end, I suppose. we like to ad-libs from time to time.
So we can do it. So, yeah. I don't get the question in advance, so it is all ad-lib on my behalf. Yeah. Who's lined it anyway, but with booze.
So, as we mentioned earlier, that epic fridge there contains a bottle of sticky toffee pudding, Eagles. Was it an ale or a lager? An ale. This intrigued us so much that we ventured downstairs to ask Jason for a bottle of this lovely delicacy, so we can try it for you all today. Evo missed out on the puddings today. He went down and ordered them too late, so this shall be his pudding for the day.
Always late to the party, mate. Big football matches, puddings, life in general.
So, we shall get the sticky toffee on the go and come back to you.
Sean has the bottle, I have the bottle opener, and we're going to do this.
Absolutely.
Boop. Public announcement. We have appeared to have had some technical difficulties. This is the segment of the podcast where we decided to speak about religion. It would appear that the greater beings of the universe did not want us speaking about them, so they decided to stop our equipment from working. I would like to take this opportunity to apologise profusely to yourselves and to my good friend Mikey Evans, who was severely disappointed by losing this footage. We shall now resume the latter end of the podcast. Apologies for anyone looking to watch us drink the sticky toffee pudding.
Right. I'd like to address something. We may have been talking and carrying on with this episode for a good while without it being filming, so we do apologise if we've missed any sort of segment of this show.
That was just a good link as well. Really good link.
We were going off into quite a tangent, and I noticed that, like it's done in a previous episode, it just stopped filming for some reason. So again, apologies. We are on the shot side, so we may have lost the side. I don't know. We'll need to check the footage back. But yeah, we were really in on it then.
Good segment as well.
We were really in on it. So again, apologies. This is the downside of having so much gear. Something along the lines can go wrong. So let's wash that away. Let's wash that bad taste away with one of our 2 shots, and then we'll try and pick this up where we left off. Mango or cherry or?
Let's go mango first.
So these are the corkies. They're meant to be glitter. I can't see any glitter in mine, but
No, I'll continue.
cheers.
Yes.
Oh, that was nice.
Definite mango flavour.
Yeah,
Flavour, even.
yeah, that's like mango syrup.
Yeah.
You had your mango? Yeah.
Happy I used doing this one as well. So, you want me for this one?
Yeah. This is just the benefit of being able to pick and choose which ones of the delicacies we indulge in. So, right, let's have the cherry, and then.
Is there any more questions or?
Well, we may have missed that one. I don't know if you want to go back into it. Shall we?
Well, basically, the question was, do I believe in religion?
Yeah.
And I affected the fact that I prayed to God to awesome the people in Paul in 1988, and we didn't, and I was a bit annoyed with God on that basis.
Yeah.
That's a lot more cut down than the original anecdote about 5 minutes, so that you're getting a very neat, shortened package there. You know?
Yeah.
Less is more, really.
I feel we need some form of backup system because.
Basically, when God turned out to not be the miracle producer that he claims to be, you know, people lose hope.
Yeah.
And I could imagine I lost my religion. There was an REM link in there as well. 'Cause, yeah.
Well, personally, I've never had it. Don't want to go too deep and dark, but I lost 3 major members of my family within 1 year of each other, and I figured, what sort of a fucking arsehole would allow that to happen? So I've sit very firmly on the atheist bench when it comes to picking a side on that one. It's a selfish thing because I know people pass away, but I feel like when you're, especially at the age I was only a young lad when it happened. They say bad things come in threes. It certainly did, and it just made me think, you know what, this ain't for me. I was also saying this is the reason why religion is usually kept off the conversation rota within a pub, and the same as politics, because this is the sort of thing that you can not lose friendships over, but it definitely brings a divide. I mean, not just within people of the same religion. Religion in general is it's a risky subject, isn't it?
I just say that, like, you know, I don't go to church anymore. It's been 30 years since I went to church, and I do miss it. That was him.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I just love belting out to him.
Yeah.
You know, colours of day and bind us together, Lord, Jerusalem, and oh, rugged cross. That was really love belting out. Such a cheerful number. That.
Yeah.
You know, oh man. I mean, back at school, assembly, and you have to get the hymns out. Oh man. Oh, love singing. I hate to bring football into it again, but no, back in one of the most bizarre away games I've ever been to was a Walsall Van. 1992, Barnet away, a Tuesday night, 5th of November, my mate's 18th birthday, and for some reason, the Walsall Van started singing hymns and Christmas carols, and I've got to say, it was a right laugh. It's got to be the most enjoyable 3-0 defeat I've ever Walsall had, you know what I mean? So, yeah, when you got somebody, you put your team, organ, everyone around him singing Jerusalem. I mean, us Walsall fans entertain ourselves at the best of time, but not that anymore, you know. And at one point we were singing, Barnet, give us a hymn, Barnet, give us a hymn. And they didn't, so, you know. So only Walsall fan can deliver hymns outside of the church congregation. Thank you very much.
Cheers.
Cheers. You need church when you've got Barnet away.
Oh, that one's a bit tart.
Oh, that was really good.
Yeah, that's nice.
We like. The man from Del Monte says yeah.
I like throwing in a cheeky little fruity number sometimes.
Oh, yeah, the fruity number.
Shots can go one of two ways, can't they? They can either be harsh and overpowering, or they can go along the lines of this, a nice little.
Yeah. I do want to point out that, you know, 2 shots, you know, this was not in my contract, you know what I mean? You know, I was expecting 1 shot, so
Yeah.
I apologise if I know for the last couple of minutes of the segment if I've turned into absolutely mad and talking nonsense, which I'm sure I've not done at any point in these 8 episodes.
Yeah. But anyway, I'd like to go back to the fact. Hymns, you're bob on there, and you know something. Weddings. If weddings have had more hymns, I'd want to go to more weddings. We call them Jesus bangers.
Jesus bangers.
Because, my God, does he have a few?
Oh God, yeah, you can't beat a good hymn. Absolute classics out there. I mean, some of them are shit, but you know, it's like most things, you know. Every article that a bad song every now and again, you know, Jesus, God must have had their off days at some point, you know. But you know.
Again, it kind of ties in with the start of the episode, because also one of the great Simpsons moments is when Ned Flanders tries to convert the Simpsons to his way of life by singing not who built the ark. It was get those animals onto the ark. But I remember that vividly as being one of those episodes that I would quote endlessly when it came out.
Is that the one where Homer doesn't get to church one day?
Yeah.
He has the best Sunday ever.
And then
The heathen's getting away, or something like that.
they constantly they're following him down the motorway, and he gets him to wind his window down, and as he does it, they carry on singing, "God sent to Noah."
Classic.
Yeah. So again, can only apologise for the technical issue that happened there. I don't actually know how much we lost, but even a second loss between the epic rants that we go on is it's an unfortunate event.
Can we just assure you though that no alcohol was lost during this incident?
Absolutely not. Clean glasses everywhere. We are definitely finishers of our beverages.
Oh god, yeah. No danger there.
Right, that was episode 8.
So back to Tamworth next Sunday then.
Absolutely. Back to Tamworth for another weird and wonderful moment, and I'm going to check out what's happened on the hard drive. It's saying that we are around this normal time, but I'm thinking we may have just padded out that shot segment there to get back up to speed. So we'll see what's been lost.
Me padding? Never. But yeah, today's been really good fun. Like, it just seems like a long time since we filmed episode 7, so today's been good. I've really enjoyed it, man.
Yeah.
Good episode, really enjoyed it.
Agreed. And I'm really enjoying this quirky little room that we've been handed.
Thank you to Jason for letting us having it again.
Yeah, absolute legend. Like I said, we'll get him on in front of the camera one day to just show his face and say hi. If you ever find yourself down this way, definitely order one of the pork and stuffing wraps, because they are quite special.
Only available this Sunday before 4 o'clock.
Absolutely.
That's my call for big done. Well, thank you very much. Cheers, Sean.
Thanks again,
Another
everyone.
great episode, man. Thank you.
Absolutely. And
Big thank you to Sammy, our PA as well.
have a wicked rest of your day, and stay safe, stay awesome.
Take care.